What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back again with another strategy that we're going to be using to scalp, boom and crash. Okay, so let's jump into it. So today we're going to be using the alligator oscillator and the awesome oscillator. Alright, so those are the two indicators that we're going to be using to scalp, right? So we can use this. Okay, so let me show you what the settings that I used, and we'll jump into the video. So for the alligator, right, so jaws period is 15, jaws shift 8, teeth period 9, teeth shift 5, lips period 6, lips shift 3, or you can just take a screenshot and you add them later after watching this. Okay, then click on done. Right, then we are going to be adding the awesome oscillator. It has got no period, no whatever, so just add it. Right, then you click done. So this strategy is quite simple, but you have to know the rules and follow them specifically as they are. Don't neglect anything. Okay, so listen attentively and watch till the end, right? So for this strategy, we can use it on the 1 minute and the 5 minute time frame. Beyond that, I don't encourage that you use it, right? But mainly on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, right? So let's jump into the rules that we are going to be following, right? So here we are only going to be entering for our sales. We are going to be entering when these three moving averages is these three, when they are above the market, right? When they are above the current market price, above the candlesticks, right? So it will be showing a sell, right? Then the awesome oscillator, I think I've already talked about it in many videos right now, but if you haven't watched my video when I talk about it all on its own and how you can use it properly, you can check it on the other videos on my channel, right? So let's jump into it. Okay, so for the first rule, right, firstly we want to see these EMAs, these moving averages cross, right, for a sale, right? That's the first rule, right? Then when a spike occurs, right, when the spike comes, we don't want it to pass through this blue line, right? So if it breaks this blue line, we are not going to be looking for a trade like what it does here. When it breaks and this EMA is cross, right, we are going to be starting over here when they cross back again for a sell, right? So when it spikes, it must let me zoom in just once so that I can show you what I'm talking, right? When it spikes, right, it can end here, right, or it can end here on this red moving average, or it can end here, right? We don't want it to spike like that, to pierce completely, right? That will be violating our setup, right? So if it spikes like what it did here, it's okay, right? Because it did not break through that blue moving average, through all those moving averages, right? Right here it almost respected, right here it almost respected because it had gone up until this moving average. But when it breaks up, it breaks again, we are not going to take our trade right here. When it breaks up something like this up until the blue moving average, that's what we are talking about, right? So that's the first condition. Firstly, these moving averages have to cross. Then secondly, when a spike comes, it must not break the structure, right? So then for our awesome oscillator, I've talked about this quite a lot now. So our awesome oscillator, firstly, it has to be, this is for a sell on boom, right? Firstly, it has to be below the zero level, right? Below the zero level, right? It has to be this small histogram. It must be, this histogram, must be below what? The 0 level, right? And then we're going to enter when these small bars, when they turn what? Red. That's when we're going to be what? To be taking our what? Our sell position, right? So right here, our EMA is close, right? Then a spike comes, right? It does not break through what? Here, right? Then also months later is still below what? The level 0. So if the green bars here turn red, we're going to be taking our entry because the signal is still valid, right? And then let's shift to here, right? Right here now, we've got the spike comes, right? Here it was still okay, but when it awesome oscillator breaks above what? The 0 level, we are totally not going to be looking for entry, and it did that before the bar turned red. So we wouldn't have entered, so there's no loss right there, right? So we don't look for a trade here. One, the awesome oscillator is above the 0 level, and two, it broke what? This spike here breaks what? Through the blue moving average, right? Did not end in a range or slightly past, right? It completely broke through, and the EMA is close altogether right here, so we're not going to be looking for an entry now, right? And then here, firstly, the EMA is close right there, right? That's a good part, right? And then the spike comes, right? And it does not completely break through go through all these moving averages, right? So we have a room to enter, right? And the awesome oscillator did not break through what? The 0 level. So we enter our sell right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you're going to be scalping what? 5 candles with this strategy, right? And then let me tell you about what? The stop loss. Yeah, stop loss. So when you enter what? Your sell, right? Let's say you entered your sell right there, right? Your stop loss is when a spike comes that breaks through what? Through all these moving averages, right? That's when you exit what? The trade, right? As you can see from here, from this example here, right? A spike here, when it spikes here, this first spike, it did not break through what? Through all these moving averages, and the awesome oscillator was still below what? Level 0, right? And then when it turned red here, obviously we would have entered what? Our sell, right? And when it spikes here, as long as if it isn't broken what? This blue moving average, right? We still hold the trade, right? After holding, and when it turns red again, when the awesome oscillator turns red again, we enter another sell, right? So that's what we're going to be doing. If it does not break, we hold, right? When if it spikes, we hold, right? And but if it breaks, it completely breaks through, we exit the trade, right? Then when it turns red again, that is if it did not break, we add another sell, the second position, right? But it all depends on your risk management, right? So if you're okay with one position, you can just leave that running, right? But as for me, I add another position when the awesome oscillator turns red again, right? So that's almost a similar case in what to this scenario here, right? So we got a spike, right? And then the spike did not pierce through all the moving averages, right? And then we've got what? It did not break the level 0, right? So when it turns red somewhere in here, right? Somewhere here, it gives some small spikes, right? As for me, I will hold until it completely breaks through, like what it did here, right? Like what it did here with this spike here. This spike past what? The blue line, right? So I won't be entering what? My sales here yet, right? So I won't be entering my sales, right? So here I will give the small spikes, and when it turns red again, I will enter another position, right? So that's what I do. And then this strategy, I do not use it on the 1000 series, on the boom 1000 and crash 1000. I do not recommend you use it because it does not work all the time, because the 1000 series has got large spikes, so the chances of this being respected are quite low, are quite slim, right? And I just don't recommend it on the boom 1000 and crash 1000. Okay, so the boom 500, crash 500, that's very okay. Then on crash 300 and boom 300, you can use it also. It works quite well, right? So that's what you'll be doing, right? So I just showed you the 1 minute time frame. Let me show you the 5 minute time frame and what I mean, right? So on the 5 minute time frame, right, you are going to be entering here, right? So our first confirmation, right, the EMA is cross right there, right, and then it spikes here, right? It did not what pass through what, did not break through that level, right? And here, as for me, I'll enter when it turns what, red again, as usual. That's what I said, same as the 1 minute time frame, right? If it breaks through what, that high right there, I will be exiting what, my trades, right? That's when I exit, right? So I would have held until what, it reaches down there, right? You can also draw a trend line right here. There's a trend line right here, right? So when it gets broken, you can enter your what, your sell trade, right? So that's what you'll be doing. And here again, it spikes, the awesome oscillator turns green, and when it turns red again, you enter what, and you hold about 20 minutes. This is a 5 minute time frame, so you hold about 20 minutes, right, and you exit, right? Here I wouldn't enter because the spike here, it broke through what, the level, so the level through the blue line, right? And the awesome oscillator also goes above what, level 0, so I won't have an entry. Even if it turns red again here, I will not enter because it had already what, broken what, those lines. Then here, when it crosses here, right, the valid signal number 1, then it spikes to here, you enter, right? So after entering here, first target is going to be the low, that where it started spiking. That's your first one, take profit, right? Or you can hold for 20 minutes, right? So this is for the 5 minute time frame only, right? First take profit is going to be the low where it started what, spiking, right? So this is the first take profit. You enter somewhere here, right? First take profit, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. That's about 20 minutes, just as I anticipated, right? So that's what you'll be doing with this strategy. Let me just check for crash 300 line, so that I can show you what so that I can show you that it works on what, on both the 300 and the 500 series, right? So here, our first confirmation, the EMA is cross, right? Then it spikes here, and when the awesome oscillator turns green, you enter, right? So stop loss probably around here if this one gets broken, right? Here is what is spike, right? Moving average is around here, and you hold, right? So this is it for this video. If you like the content, like, subscribe and share, and then turn on your notification bell whenever I post content like this, you get notified, right? So that's it for this video, guys.